what he's saying is right. Every people gets the government in the stage of their civilization that they deserve. Nevertheless, next paragraph. I believe that regardless of circumstances, he said, at least he says it's his belief, there is one infallible criterion for determining the quality of any form of government. In other words, that government is best, which enables every citizen most adequately to realize he must renounce some of his rights for the common good. This is Hobbes back again. To sacrifice some of his self-interest for the sake of others. That's important. And I don't know, he's criticizing Hobbes, and yet he's right back to Hobbes. All right, well, you know, we don't necessarily think we have an original thinker here yet. He's just someone who's applying these thoughts to the situation of the Jewish people in the late 18th century. And to the next paragraph. Fear and hope are no criteria for truth. Either knowledge, reasoning, conviction alone can generate ethical principles, which by serving as examples that command respect will ultimately become generally accepted. Moral criteria, what's he saying? I can't, give me your translation at the end of that paragraph there. Fear and hope are no criteria for truth. Do you have any translation there? The end of the paragraph. Knowledge, reasoning, conviction can generate.
Yeah, it's not. It's in the
read it.
Beginning.
All right, well, just read it. What does it say?
It?
Yeah, try it.
Knowledge, reasoning, and persuasion alone can bring forth principles which, with the help of authority and example, can pass into morals.
Can what?
Pass into morals?
Well, that's as unclear as this, so we're both. Maybe it's just Mendelssohn that's unclear here, but anyway. What's he saying here? Well, anyway.
Isn't he making the distinction between what the government's about and what the church is about?
Yeah, he is, but I don't fail to understand what it is he's trying to say about
well,
that.
The thing that I got was that the government's about protecting your negative rights. Up to, like if you imagine a continuum and a dividing point, all your negative rights are protected by the government up to a certain point, and then after that is where the church takes over.
Okay, I'll take that. This guy thinks very abstractly. I can see that. You know, he's got a reasonable mind. We should be guided by him on Mendelssohn, I think, because my mind is not reasonable, and I can't follow him half the time.
I actually read that in an old playbook.
Okay. Another paragraph. So here, religion can be of some assistance to the state, just like you were just saying. Next paragraph. If, however, the character of a nation, its cultural development, its prosperity, increasing population, luxury, etc., makes it impossible to govern the people on the basis of their attitudes alone, I don't know what he's talking about here, the state will have to resort to public measures, such as enforcement of law by coercion, punishment of crime. Well, okay, fine. So the state coerces people when they're doing things that are criminal. Okay, well, fine. So finally, at the end of this section here, I have a new section, the origin of the rights of coercion, the validity of the contracts among men. Do you have still chapter 1, but it's seems to be, I have it in big letters. Do you have that? Yeah. Before that, though, the paragraph before that, he says, here we have a first essential difference between state and religion. After all this, he's come up with this idea. I suppose he's proved it, at least to his own satisfaction. I mean, I'll accept it. It sounds nice. The state commands and coerces. Religion teaches and persuades. Oh, very nice. We only wish it were true.
Yeah.
This is the ideal thing, you know. Religion is nice and just, teaches and persuades. The state issues laws. What? Religion issues commandments. What's the difference? Is that a commandment just a persuasion then, according to him? I guess it is.
Action and intention.
The state possesses physical power and uses it when necessary. The power, I love this. No wonder they thought he was a Christian. The power of religion is love and charity. Oh, that's nice. That's the best state of situation. I wish it were that way. That'd be nice. The one abandons the lawbreaker, expels him from society. We have millions of people in prison here, you know. This is what coercion does. But it has secured this right through the social contract, he says. Religious society doesn't do it by coercion. Well, it used to up till the time he's talking about. They used to burn people at the stake and every other thing. In Islam, they lop people's heads off who don't play ball in the right way and so on. So there's plenty of coercion going on out there, maybe not in our time. But before his time, I don't know where he gets that idea. They excommunicated Spinoza in the Jewish environment.
Well, I think he's making...
Let me finish the sentence. Nor can it possibly obtain it by any contract. So religion is not a contract. The state possesses absolute rights, the church limited rights. All right. In order to clarify this point, let me go through the first principle examine. All right, what were you pointing at?
I was just going to say, I think he's making, I mean, people don't join religion because they've got, you know,
No one joins
pogroms
religion.
and...
They're born into religion.
Well, when he's saying that the power of religion is love and compassion, I think he's trying to get at the point that, you know, I think you made this point maybe 2 weeks ago.
Don't,
where
I
you
don't know many very much. Go ahead.
Where you said that, you know...
I'm never going to get through this book at the rate I'm going.
Fascists come and go, but, you know, religious traditions have been around for thousands of years. And
did I say that?
You said something along those lines, I think. And I think what he's saying is that the reason these things have stuck around is because they speak to the highest ideals available to humanity. They're the ones
we
that...
wish, hopefully that's true, and I'm not sure it is, but that sounds good enough. I'll accept that, but anyway, so these are not coercive, these are teaching. Okay, fine. He goes on the next section there to define what is a right. You'll have to read that for yourself. I'm going to skip a lot of pages here in chapter 1, because I'll let you read all of that yourself, because somewhere along, and I can't give you the pages, you know, I got to move along so I can get to chapter 2, which I think is more useful for our purposes. Somewhere along about the middle of there, he says something. You can read all this yourself. He says, one is the domain of moral philosophy, the other of religion. Nor does religion, the relation between God and man, impose duties and obligations upon man that are different from those demanded by reason. That's in parentheses. I mean, he didn't say that, but he implies that. Religion merely gives solemn sanction to them. And he says, I believe these notions are self-evident, like we hold these truths to be self-evident. That's what, again, Jefferson said. So the point, what again he's saying here is that